Wednesday. It's a late night. Whoops, I can't type. Late night stream. Good evening, Eddie. Let's start at the top. Hey, FU2 was first to the chat. Mad props. Respect. I think we warmed it up. I think we've warmed this sucker up. So let's switch the scene to the rigs. There we go. Chat is up. Chat is up in the video. I upped the size a little bit, and it doesn't look that much bigger. Hold on a second here, guys. Okay, hey, FU2, what's up? First one to the chat. Jennifer J. Sarcino, what's up? Eddie West, and Feel My Swag up on the internet. I think I just threw out my voice. Excuse me. But signing back up, late night. What's up? I think I just blew out my voice. I was at a baseball game today, so I think there was a fair bit of loud talking and having a good time, if you know what I'm saying. Trash talking the Philadelphia Phillies. And they beat the Seattle Mariners 5-4. 5-4 on a sunny afternoon here in Seattle, Washington. Yeah, just working on my my announcer voice. It was something me and a guy we were talking about today. We might have a plan of something we might want to try doing in the future. What it do, Emilio? What's up, Mr. Maldonado? What's going on? Jennifer's asking, plumbing tonight? Yeah, it's a fair bit of plumbing. We're working on getting some of the 180 going, so that will be the piece of video tonight, which I actually rendered and kind of cut together into one long video, which kind of put me behind schedule here a little bit. You all notice that it's a little bit later than I normally do. Wednesday is normally the crazy day. Wednesday is kind of a crazy day that I don't necessarily get to do a live stream or not. It's up in the air. Wednesday will always be up in the air, though as many of the other days, we will be doing a live stream, man. So show up, hang out, do whatever. I'll give you some updates on things that are going on in the fish room. I'll shoot some video. Y'all can check it out. Y'all can ask some questions. That's a big thing that I like about being able to do this live stream, is that y'all can actually ask questions and I'm actually here and I can answer them, waving my arms around and being a weirdo. So that is the big reason why I like doing these live streams. If you guys have noticed, I've been doing a foreshortened version for the 3-minute viewers out there, those people that can't handle watching a long video, which is fine. Hey, there's a lot of people out there that can't necessarily watch things. They're super busy. I get it. They probably have kids or something, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is, that makes them so super busy that they can't watch the long thing. But the main reason why I'm doing this live stream stuff is I get to say hi to you guys and actually have some interaction with you instead of just how I feel like preaching to the choir, when I'm just doing a voiceover for a thing and throwing it up there and then being really bad about emailing people back. Hold on. Sorry, had to click the thing. I got to click the thing. Hold on a second. Then sometimes I forget to click the thing. Every once in a while, I forget. Eddie Kaitia has showed up. What's up, my man? The internets is here. Dark Heart Animal loves the internets. I love the internets too. Chris Colestra finally made it from all the way from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. Deep, deep, deep in the heart of Canada. How's that song go? Oh, Canada, our home and native land. That's really the only part that I know very well. There's something about loving the land and caressing the land and moisturizing the land and keeping the land. There's a lot to talk about land in that song. But I love the Canadian brothers to the north. I love the Australian brothers to the south and way over there. You know, all you guys, it's all good. I don't know. We've got to, give a shout-out how I like you all, I guess. But as I was saying, today was kind of a vacation day a little bit for me. But I went with my buddy Bill. We went up to see the Seattle Marineros. And they failed at baseballing, although they succeeded in baseballing. And I'll give you a quick recap on that. Beautiful day out there, overcast, whatever. Felix Hernandez, I guess, is one of our most famous players. He was actually pitching today, and I have to... pretty typical Felix Hernandez type pitching thing. Anybody's a baseball fan out there or not, whatever, I'm just going to give you the quick breakdown of what happened. He gave up some home runs or whatever, struck out some guys, blah, blah, blah. Very typical outing, not a big deal. And the Mariners did the typical thing that they do and lose it in the 9th inning. But I will say, so here's the bright point of the day. Not only the company that I had was fantastic, a lot of good time hanging with some bro time, if you know what I'm saying. And but the definite highlight of the game for me personally, as a human, I got to see I got to mark off two of those guys off my list that I got to see hit home runs today, and that would be Robinson Cano and Kyle Seager. Both of those guys hit home runs today, so I can say, hey, I seen that, and not necessarily have to think about that anymore because I've already seen it. So now if I end up seeing some other ones, I guess that's just bonus, right? But I will say something about the Kyle Seager at-bat, which was hilarious because the dude tried to lay down a bunt. He tried to bunt and failed, and the next swing, he hit a home run. So, I don't know. That dude is just pretty cool dude, and I like that guy because he's a serious goofball. Also, so is Robinson Cano. But anyhow, enough of baseball talk. I know a lot of you guys aren't huge baseball fans, but like I said, I had a really enjoyable time. Got to drink some green tea, ate a meatball sandwich. I really ate unhealthy today, other than my breakfast. I didn't get any ice cream, though. That is the big time thorn in my craw, or my paw, or my craw. I have a kind of a lobster craw over here. A bit of a thorn in my paw is that I didn't get to eat any ice cream today. I ate like crap, and I didn't get to enjoy the delicious flavors of ice cream. But that leads me to remember that there is a beautiful day tomorrow that will lead me to be able to eat some ice creams, which I'm very excited about. I don't know if you guys understand the powerful lust I have for eating ice cream. I love it, and probably going to start making some here fairly soon, as once the fish tanks kind of get set up and things kind of get rolling on. And I'm definitely going to make a video of me making ice cream. And if anybody doesn't like it, I'm sorry. I'm sorry ahead of time, but I love making ice cream, and I love eating ice cream. I love just ice cream. I know someday I'm going to be making some custom ice cream at some point in time. I don't know when that's going to happen, but at some point in time. Gerald McGeraldton over here, Dougie McDougals, whatever you want to call me, will have some ice cream on the market at some point in time. Let's not miss the chat here. Someone beat me to the like button. Good job. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification button. That has been an ongoing issue. A lot of people have said they haven't been getting their notifications. YouTube will turn off the notifications inexplicably. No one really has an answer for it, but it will turn off. So if you haven't been getting notifications, go to the main page there and hit that little bell. There's like a little bell thing right next to the subscribe button. You might still be subscribed, but the notifications might be turned off. So go turn those on and help. It helps us support the channel and keep the projects going here for sure. Jen was the first to hit the like button. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't work tirelessly, but I work pretty hard to make sure that I have content coming up here, and you guys coming out and hitting that like button and stuff is totally awesome. Joel Gillett showed up. What's up? Representing New Zealand, the one New Zealander out there. I have one Denmark fan, one Swedish fan, one New Zealand fan, and one, or no, not one, I think 8 Australian fans. So the Australians are just knocking the Danish and the Swedish and the New Zealanders, the Kiwis, right out of the water. So respect to whatever rugby team plays in Australia. There's probably one that's really exciting, I would guess. Don't get any rugby up here. Rains too much. It's too cold. You can't wear a rugby outfit out here. Dark Heart Animal, subscribe today. Click the bell so I don't miss the craziness anymore. Always show up for the craziness. That's good. So I purchased a roll of bubble wrap. All I want to do is pop the bubbles. I understand that feeling. We get those big ones now from Amazon, and I'd like to pop those, and it freaks out the dog. So I'm not really supposed to do that anymore. I'm supposed to cut them up with a razor blade like a sane person and not just jump on them like a psycho and freak out the dog. But I love the dog, so try not to freak out the dog. Everybody loves ice cream. Everybody loves ice cream. Good. I mean, I would have, I wouldn't say you'd have to go away if you don't like ice cream, but I don't know. It's difficult to relate to somebody who doesn't like ice cream because it's probably I don't know. It's super. I got it on my mind right now, and I'm just being ridiculous about it. Just stopping by, saw the word Reef and got excited. Later, Patrick, water boxes came in and left. Okay. Eddie Kaiti is talking about the stopping the chop saw blade with your pointer finger knuckle about 10 years ago. For the past few months, haven't been able to bend that finger. 10 years later? Yeah, actually, I did. Okay, I didn't recently talk to my orthopedic surgeon, but I cut this. So this hand that has the screwed up thumb, I actually cut this whole part of the hand off. And one of the orthopedic surgeons was talking to me at the time to keep monitoring this kind of stuff and keep doing the stretching. And I've noticed that same thing, that all these tendons right here that were cut, they'll get tight. So I'm trying to keep doing that with my thumb, and I realize that that's going to be the same kind of long-term effect, is that this thumb can't go all the way now. It only goes like that far. So I need a stick to grip, because like this one goes all the way down, but this one doesn't. So, I mean, and Dwayne Kitchell's asking why I hate my left hand. My new doctor actually asked me the same question. Why do I hate this left hand so much? I'm fairly ambidextrous because I do a lot of stuff with both hands back and forth, but more often than not, the smashing and cutting thing, I use my right hand, and then my left hand ends up getting in the way. And being a chef and following repetition for a really long time, the left hand was almost always in the way and would consistently take the brunt of things that the right hand was doing at it. So if that makes sense, this hand is really gnarled and has a lot of problems, but it still works. So I am very grateful for that. And I probably should have put that on my gratitude list today. Speaking of gratitude lists, if you guys don't do gratitude list, I find it something that's very helpful in my life to write down things that I'm grateful for in the day, just as a quick little blah, blah, just a little thing to mention. Let's not. I will. Let's see. DPK Fish Aquariums was saying that I should definitely make that video, and I will. I will make that ice cream video. I have to make a new motor mount thing for my ice cream dealy bob. I might just end up ordering a new one, but hopefully I'm going to find a good one at a second use place. As I saw one there a while back. Second use is a salvage yard here in Washington, and I saw one a while back, and I didn't buy it just because I was being, I don't know, I was trying to just not blow money on things at the time. And hopefully there'll be one there again at some point in time. We're at the the 15-minute mark, so we have to do the little advertising part, which I put the air quotes in here. If you guys notice the advertising, this is the quick little blurb that goes in. 2-3 ways to support the channel. Eddie Kaitia just made the gratitude list. He asked if he could be on it with the super chat, which is one of the ways that you can support the channel. You can click the little $ thing at the bottom, $1, $2, $5, $100 million, whatever you want to put in there. If that's one way to support the channel, is the super chat function. The second way to support the channel is a even cheaper way to do it. You can head over to darkstararts.com and click through the Amazon banner before you go buy stuff at Amazon. It doesn't matter what you buy. It just basically tells Amazon that we sent you there. It does not matter what you buy. As long as you go from Darkstar Arts, you click on the Amazon, it just redirects you over to Amazon. You buy whatever you were going to buy, whether it was stockings, hatchets, and whipped cream. Put all those together and do something weird. It doesn't matter what you go there and buy. Just we get just says that we sent you there. That's basically all that it is. Doesn't change the price or anything like that. If you don't want to do that, the simplest and cheapest and easiest way out there is to subscribe, like, and share the video. If you guys share these videos out to people, hopefully we can grow the channel a little bit. And with your guys' contributions and all that kind of stuff, we're slowly but surely eliminating any advertisers on here. I don't want there to be any of this bullshit, blase nonsense advertisements that just pop up and like all of a sudden they're like, hey, you should buy this toaster because your toaster sucks, bleh. And you're like, I don't need a toaster. What is happening? So hopefully over time we'll be able to completely eliminate the advertising and all that kind of stuff, and possibly if we get enough going, then we'll be able to work on bigger and better projects here, because that realistically is the end game that I want to get to. Maybe at some I'm kind of looking at the YouTube channel sort of like how a Patreon is run, that the more funding that kind of comes in, the more I'm able to do, because I can kind of free up some of my other time. As you guys know, I work for myself, so I can kind of move my schedule around and change things around and try and do that. So that is kind of the goal, is that what's really going on. Sergeant Tank rolled in to smash the like. Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. Anybody that only has a minute or two to stop in, say what's up, hit the like button. This will go up as a full video once this stream is done. And Aquarium Co-op Corey is lurking because he just super chatted a $5 contribution. Thank you very much, Corey. Thank you very much, Eddie. Corey's asking that stockings, hatchets, and whipped cream is weird. It's not weird, but you can get weird. That's the thing. Once you bring all three of those items together, you can go get weird, which is kind of the, it's really the name of the game once you get down to it, once you get down to everything. Jennifer J. Sarcino, should I pack clothing on the hangers or take them off and pack hangers separate? Okay, here's what I do. I put all, like, this many hangers together with all the clothes coming off the bottom of them, right? Then I take a garbage bag, like a white one, like a white kitchen garbage bag. I put it over the top and I pull the hangers through the top, right? Then I take that whole thing off and then I fold it over and I stick it in a box. That's how I do it. That's how I move that stuff. It seems to keep it pretty clean and nicely folded, whatever the stuff is. And although most of my clothing is made out of whatever this canvas is that is like a work attire, you know what I'm saying? So maybe you have some kind of delicates that may or may not handle that or not. But Chris is with me on packing with the hangers because it's way easier to unpack and get things put back up onto the dealy bobber. And Joel Gillett with the super chat, New Zealander dollars. Eddie's trying to catch up with Aquarium Co-op Corey, who is our all-time leading super chatter on the deal. So if you guys are going to keep competing, I can't stop you. So, but thanks, Eddie, for the contribution, for sure. All of those are in Kung Fu Hustle. It does sound like a great night. Actually, you could go to Amazon, download Kung Fu Hustle, probably, right? I don't know. I would say that, like, ultimately my end game is to bring this up as a daily TV show on Netflix. I think that's my goal now. I think I've kind of made that my goal. I'm not sure, but we shall see how things go down the road. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that might be an avenue that I'm thinking about. I'm considering it. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But I know that YouTube currently right now allows me to do a daily show here, so that's what we're going to keep doing and kicking ass and trying to get as much content up here for you guys as possible. But we're at the 20-minute mark, so we better get to some of the video portion so y'all can check out what the hell was going on. How's that video quality look? Is that decent? I think that's fairly decent. I don't know, I rendered it down and it gave it kind of a weird purpley color on my end over here. I wonder how far behind I am from you guys. It seems like there's a bit of a lag today. But it's lagging over on the YouTube end, not on my end. So hopefully everything is coming out and making at least some sense. Damn billionaire local fish store owners. If Corey's a billionaire, congrats, my man. And I would be a little bit jealous on this end, I think, realistically. But as you guys can see here, this is the different stand that I built for the 180. So it's kind of a drop-down level, so that I'm going to be leveling out the lines of all the fish tanks in the room, because this tank is actually 6 inches taller. So what I did was I dropped it down 3 inches, and then I'm going to have a little 3-inch hood that drops down so that the reveal will be the same as the rest of the tanks around the room. And it still doesn't have the skin on the front. Now the reason for that is there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of traffic, namely me going in and out of here and bashing around and doing all sorts of nonsense and cutting holes into things probably. So the last thing I wanted to do is put the decorative skin on and then, for lack of a better term, fucking up the whole situation and ruining it with my antics. So I'm going to actually skin all the detail work after the tank is set up so that I can avoid really the high trafficness of it. That's why the 240 doesn't have any of the detail woodworking around it yet. I don't know if I had mentioned that to people, so I wanted to make sure I made a little note to say that's why the stands still look like this. And those videos are coming up where I'll be showing you the woodwork pieces as this stuff goes together and gets everything finished. So anybody that's been waiting on that, hold tight, because I'm trying to get the tanks running before I do that, and that's the reason why. Because with all the wheels and buckets and nonsense and plumbing parts and dripping PVC glue and all that kind of crap around, the last thing I want to do is have some nice finish work and then ruin it by a glob of PVC glue or something falling on it. So that's going to be that's the reason why I haven't done a lot of the finished woodwork or anything like that on the stand yet. So somebody was asking me that a while ago. and I wanted to mention it. Oh yeah, okay, wait, we're not at that part yet. Okay, I was clicking over on the messages over there to get up the messages, but we're not at that part. I don't know why I was thinking I should get to that. All of the overflow in the 180 here is a dual 1.5 inch overflow. So I have two 1.5 inch pipes that overflow from the center of the tank. If anybody was a little bit, some people were, I think at one point were wondering what was going on. So here's the opening up above, and like I said, this is a really heavy-duty, thick tank. So you can see up here some of the nice work around the top of the overflow. It's a nice rounded, smooth little buddy. Most of the tank is assembled this way. It's really nice high-grade tank. As I said, I got it out of a dentist's office that they didn't really waste any, or they didn't spare any expense getting this tank built for where they had it. Here I am just dropping in both of the overflows. Both of these overflows are Durso overflows, and I know some people have been asking me because of the noisiness of Dursos and that I might want to go with a siphon and this and that. But I do like the aeration of a Durso into my tanks, and this one actually has a little cover over the top here, so you actually can't hear much of anything from it once it's actually running, because it's pretty closed into the back of the tank. Nothing's coming out of it. You guys can see the return bulkheads right there. You see that 90 degree that's right there that's tipped in the upward direction. That is actually my emergency overflow if, for some strange reason, that screen bit around the overflow, for some reason, let's say that got clogged up, that's my emergency drain. That if the tank was filling and filling too much, and we had a problem, that would actually let some of that excess water out and down, basically just a simple 1-inch pipe, so it's nothing really too fancy or anything like that. This black material I am using here is ABS style PVC, which is a foam core PVC stuff. This is typically almost always used for drains. You see this quite a bit in construction. Nothing really super special about it. The upside of doing an overflow that is, doing the overflow inside an overflow like this, it'll help maintain a steady flow, and also I don't need to glue all those parts together that are inside that overflow chamber right there, and I can take it apart like I did when I brought it here. I just took all the parts apart, had them pretty much pre-cut and all that kind of stuff. And as you guys can see, my pants are falling off again. It's amazing. Doing a really good job, right? But I finally got the sump cleaned. I didn't realize how much cleaning I was going to have to do, and I forgot to bring the camera with me like a dope outside. But that realistically, I think you guys have seen the cleaning of a fish tank. I sprayed it with water and wiped out the stuff that was in it. This is a pretty basic three-chamber sump that was actually built out of an old display tank. I did not build this sump. This was homemade from a local guy. I got this from, I don't remember his name now. His name escapes me. I don't remember. I've only met him one time, like in person, when I bought it. But I'm going to have to do a few modifications to this sump because I need to run my skimmer in this sump. And as you guys can see from the core line that's on that sump, you see how there's a level? This sump was actually running at no different levels. So the baffles that they put in there are running all at the same level across the tank, which is the only reason at this point to have the baffles in there would be to remove oxygen bubbles, which, considering how many questions we've had about oxygen bubbles over the years, it's not that big of a deal to have some oxygen bubbles. And those of you that were here for only the planted tank stuff, there is planted tank stuff at the end of this video. There's a quick recap of the 240 at the end, so you all get that little dealy bopper over there too. I'm missing out on something that's what's going on in the chat over here. Only if you try and spend it. Does it count if you print the cash yourself? Oh, that will get you in trouble if you print the cash yourself, that's for sure. Eddie Kaitia said, I noticed when you plant, they stay real easy because it looks like you have a lot of fine sand, and I guessed I have all eco-complete, and it's harder, especially with small fine plants. What would you suggest? Adding sand? Great question, Eddie, and I will get to that in a minute. Well, actually, I'll get to it right now. If you're doing a real fine root, like carpeting plant around the front of your tank, I typically use fluorite black sand is the one that I use. I normally just pick up like one bag of that every once in a while, and I'll add a little layer of the black sand at the front, and that sand will help hold the fine roots. And that yesterday's video when I was planting, yet another reason why I plant with water in the tank, to make sure those plants, as I plant them in, will actually stay in the tank. If that makes any lick of sense to y'all. Otherwise, maybe I'll have to make a different video for fine root planting. Maybe we'll do that. But in the 240 right now, I planted the Monte Carlo, which has just about as fine as the roots can get, and it was held in there pretty well. There isn't any sand in that tank. It just does take a little bit of just takes a little bit of a deft touch, and just kind of getting used to planting those really fine root guys. But a little bit of sand does help with holding those finer roots in place once they're in there. So let's see. I had to bust out my old box of Reef equipment and go through everything and make sure I got everything that I need, that I'm needing for this. I got my scummer. I have my skimmer. I'm going to have to do a slight modification to get it to fit where I want it to fit into the sump, that's not a big deal. I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. But I'm going to have to do a slight modification to get it in there. I got my 500 watt heater that runs off of a Aqua Dynamics controller. Yeah, I have a full controller unit here that will control the temperature, the skimmer, the lights, any stuff that I want to plug into it. It is a fully electronic controller that will keep track of everything that's going on. And then I did find one of my readout controllers for the heater that I have, and I might end up putting that into the 240 at some point in time. It's over there on the ground there. But you guys can see I have I'm not missing the probe. I don't think I ever had it. But hopefully I'll be able to grab a pH probe and a calc or magnesium probe. I'm not sure which my controller will be able to handle, because it doesn't have every single thing. There's my old J-Bow wave maker, my Hyder Coralia wave controller. That wave controller actually works really well. I would recommend it. There's the Brown Dog that handles all of the very serious operation around here. She is pretty much the foreman. And as you can see, my lighting is totally ridiculous, so I had to go turn all the lights off so I'd be able to shoot the 240 here. Here's the 240 at the end of the video, and I think I kind of just pan around and look at stuff. That's one of the mystery plants right there that was mysteriously sprouting. It was coming out. People were asking about that. I will identify that in a later video for you. Here... I took a second to try and get some close-ups on the Monte Carlo to show you guys how it is actually starting to sprout and spread out, and we'll eventually cover that area. That sandy material that's right there is actually just fish doo-doo. It's just shit. It's just fertilizer, basically. And it's all the fines and stuff from, having moved all that substrate around for a long time. But I think this tank, I'm pretty happy with how the scape is going. I just want it to grow faster at this point. But there's some of the crypts. You can see that they're actually sprouting new leaves and spreading out. So this will be one of those tanks that I get frustrated with for a little while, and then all of a sudden a month down the road I'll be like, man, this thing is never going to grow in. And then I'll compare these two videos and then realize, oh yeah, I've just gotten used to it because I look at it every day. So Dwayne was asking, is it a journey down memory lane pulling all this stuff out again? Yes, it is. And it was also a journey down realizing I got a bunch of sawdust in that box somehow. Even though it has a nice top and everything closed on it. I'm not really sure how that sawdust and dust got in there. The dust and crust. Eddie is asking, is there CO2 in there now in the 240? Yeah, there has been CO2 since I hooked up the reactor, my old reactor, like a week ago. I had really strong intentions today to make the new CO2 reactor, but I really didn't get... I honestly didn't have that productive of a day today. I really did spend a lot of time just kind of relaxing, spent some time meditating this morning. I visited with a lot of people. It really kind of was a much-needed just day of repose or whatever you want to call it. It was nice to just kind of relax for a day, have some fun, not really think about stuff for a little bit. But that also put a hit on my productivity, which part of my productivity was to get that CO2 done. Oh, Victoria has delivered me new shorts. Status update. Shorts acquired. Oh, I'll have to hold them over here. These were old work pants that had big holes in the knees, and my lady has cut them off. Looks like she cut them pretty short. So these would probably be like some short shorts. The lady be checking out my thighs. So that's going to be pretty cool. I never buy shorts. I normally just burn holes in my work pants and then turn them into shorts. So that definitely happens. But as I was saying, I didn't really hit the level of productivity today that I really planned on hitting, but otherwise it was a great day and was, like I said, was really a needed amount of time. Surprises! It is surprises. Surprise shorts coming from upstairs. My lady's up there doing some sewing. How cool is that? And somebody was asking earlier, hold on. Somebody was asking about the art back there. I can't find it, but I just popped into my head that somebody was asking about the art, and I didn't want to run over what was going on in the video. Oh, Emilio Maldonado was asking, is that my art? Yes, that is my art back there. And one thing that people were talking about a little while ago was this, like that shrimp painting that's right there. Hopefully this Saturday I'll be doing the layout to make some new ones. So if anybody is really interested in some little crystal shrimp paintings or anything like that, I'll have a new set of those coming out if anybody really wants one. If you want one, you can go to darkstararts.com, and I have a there's email on there that you can send me a direct email message, and we can figure something out. If you live in Cucamonga, we might be able to get it to you. But if you live out in Sweden, maybe not. I don't know. Carson's asking, did I get my buckets and wheels? No, not yet. I'm actually picking those up tomorrow because I haven't really had a lot of reasons to go to the Home Depot this week, which is good because that means I have all my materials on site. But I actually have to go tomorrow to pick up some stuff that I never ordered. So actually pick up some finish wood for a project that I'm working on up in the North Tacoma area. Actually installing some custom stairs and blah, blah, blah. So I need to pick that up, and I'll be heading there tomorrow morning. It's a bit of a foreshortened live stream tonight. Seems like we've lost people's attention, but that's okay, man. If we're going to have a short one on Wednesday, we'll have a short one on Wednesday. Oh, I have some questions here we need to run through, so we will do that real quick. Okay, Matt Guilmette. Matt Guilmette. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Matt G. Was asking, a couple of videos ago, the idea of using oak leaves or some other local leaf variety in place of catappa leaves was brought up. Or catappa, sorry. leaves was brought up. You mentioned that there was something in the leaves that caused you to not use them, but I don't remember hearing why. Did you ever disclose the reason behind not using them? Love the format, man. Keep on keeping on. That's what he said. I read it, and there we go. I was actually talking about oak leaves because oak actually have a slight antiseptic thing in their sap. So using oak leaves is not a bad thing if you can get the nice, crispy. Apparently, that's not a big deal once they're crispy on the oak leaves. But oak leaves have a bit of this kind of waxy sap stuff, same as maple. But that stuff becomes really irrelevant once they're fully dried. So it's not a huge ordeal, but you just have to make sure that they're really dry. Like, just got to make sure they're really dried out. If you have a dehydrator, that'll actually work pretty well. That's the fastest way I know how to do it. I know a bunch of people like put them in their oven and stuff, but I think that's a good way to start a fire personally. But if you have a food dehydrator, which we do here, you can find those decent leaves and stuff that you want and put them in the food dehydrator for a day, and they will come out gadoosh dry, and won't actually be a problem from that point. But that seemed to be the big issue. I know that maple is bad and oak is okay if they are nice and dry. Just double check that you're not getting them from right next to a street. A lot of the polycarbons and all that kind of stuff will get onto the leaves from like a heavy traffic road. Just, go somewhere where a side street is, where there's a tree near a side street. Hopefully you live somewhere near trees, because I don't know how people do that. I don't know how they live somewhere where there isn't a lot of trees or anything around. Joel Gillett saying Home Depot must be an amazing place. It's a fairly amazing place. I'd give it a 7. I'd give it a 7 out of what? I don't know. I'd just give it a 7. How about that? Home Depot is the black hole of hardware stores. You walk in and lose 4 hours of your life. That can be very much the situation. Here's something that I would highly recommend to most people. Is this thing right here on your phone. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I highlight all of the memos that are on the memo thing on the Samsung phone. I don't know if you have an iPhone or whatever, but I always put in the memo what I'm getting at Home Depot. And as a matter of fact, the memo thing is the Home Depot colors. I think it's orange and white, which is pretty funny. The thing is, so this memo thing here, you'll know exactly what you're going to get. Hold on, let me see if I can open one. Here's one of the memos here. Okay, gray paint in eggshell, white paint in gloss, exterior. Rollers small, pelican liners, shingle shake, cedar, clear silicone, window grade. So I have everything in that memo there, so that when I go to Home Depot, I don't get distracted and I don't end up with a bunch of crap that I didn't need. But I would definitely do that. What the hell happened over here? Oh, Corey's still the reigning super chat champion with a $100 super chat. Still wearing the crown, and I think you've made an enemy out of Eddie. You may or may not have created a monster. Hey Eddie, don't worry. I'm not gonna ban Corey. There ain't anybody to be banned on here. We don't have any trolls, and I'm pretty surprised by that. I don't know why that is. Maybe I have that look like I'll just come to a troll's house with one of these and do stuff. But Thank you very much, Corey, for the contribution. He says the best part of my day is to sit here not working and just veg out and watch. I typically can't buy this type of relaxation. Thank you. Hey, man, I appreciate it. That's for sure. I certainly do, and I try to do my best to come up with new stuff every day so we're not just stuck here in the humdrum of talking about baseball games, you know what I'm saying? Although maybe someday I'll do a baseball hour, and then y'all will realize I probably know too much about baseball if I'm not a huge fan. But that's realistically the kind of person I am. If I don't know. I'm one of those ridiculous people that can't sleep if something is bugging me. But thank you for the $100 super chat. That is crazy. And now I feel like I have to stay on here long enough for the little timer to go down, but I don't know how long a $100 super chat stays up for. But either way, let's not get too sidebarred. But thank you for your generosity, man. Oh, hey, Aquarium Cop has showed up. Showed up? Oh, my words are working great right now. Aquarium Cop has shown up. Thanks for coming. You can afford Ben & Jerry ice cream now. Yeah, I think I'll have to upgrade my ice cream choice for tomorrow. I'm going to go Breyers, I think. I'm going to go Breyers. I think Breyers is coming into my favorite chocolate peanut butter. Whatchamacallit. They're my favorite brand of the chocolate peanut butter ice cream. There we go. That's definitely surprises for sure. Surprises! Biddy Brown, ice cream surprises. Well, you know, if I end up getting surprises like that, I might end up getting ice cream tonight. Who knows? And then just quietly sit in the dark and eat ice cream. So Vicky can't steal it. But she is upstairs. So maybe I'll be able to get away with it. Corvus, you should derim a 10-gallon and then do a cryptocrine-only tank. I could derim a 20. I don't have a 10. I don't have any 10-gallon tanks anymore. I gave those all to a dude down the street from my old house. He came by one day, elderly guy with like a really bad leg kind of dude. But nice guy, totally nice guy. He came by and was asking about one of my sumps that was outside. And I said, hey, man, because that sump was actually broken. I was like, because he was like, hey, you think I could buy it? It's outside. And I was like, well, you know, I wouldn't sell it to you. And he's like, oh, man, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, I wouldn't sell it to you because it's broken. And he was like, oh, man, that's really cool, man. I bet most people would probably just sell it to me and leave it on the floor or whatever. But he was like, well, do you have anything else for sale? And I said, well, I have 6 10-gallon tanks if you are interested in them. And he was like, well, I could probably give you like $10 a piece. And so I just gave them to him and didn't accept his money because he was just a really nice guy. So I don't have any 10 gallons anymore, but maybe at some point I'll do a 20. But I don't have really anywhere to put small tanks in the fish room itself, and we came to an agreement, Vicky and I, that we wouldn't be putting a bunch of aquariums in the house here. And I had a great idea of what I was going to put plant-wise in this room, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. And oh, hold on, maybe I took a picture of it. Maybe I snapped a picture off of like Pinterest or something. Hold on, let me see what I got here. I had a good idea, and chances are I probably don't. But I typically would. Something that I would do is save a picture of it. But I don't know. Anybody that was wondering about part of the project that I'm working on right now, here's the that is the new ceiling that I put in. That gap in the middle there is all filled in and everything now. This was a while ago, but it's all wood ceiling that's clear coat on it. That was pretty cool. But no, I don't see where the plant thing was I had. So now I'm gonna have to think about it before I go to bed, and I'll probably have a weird dream and wake up. and wonder what it was that I was dreaming about. But I did have a plan to get some a good amount of plants in this room, and like I said, I can't remember what it was, but I'm gonna definitely work on figuring that out. I think it probably had something to do with succulents or air plants or something like that. That doesn't need a ton of watering or soil or any of that kind of stuff, because water and the electrics in here will probably not really be that great of an idea. But we did have an agreement to not have any fish tanks in the house. That was kind of what we talked about. We do have an old house here, and the last thing that we'd want to do is have a broken tank or a leak or something in inside of a house that is just kind of irreplaceable. You know, most of the stuff in here, all the building materials and everything here are over 100 years old, and there really isn't much that we could do to like replace that kind of stuff. Although we will be going to second use fairly soon, so hopefully I'm actually trying to find some of this flooring material there. Like hopefully somebody had torn down a house that had put in the same floor, so I could make a couple of things that match for in here, like shelves or something like that. So we'll be heading there fairly soon. I'll probably snap a few shots and post those up, because that store is the coolest store. If you guys think Home Depot is cool, second use is like, it's like a 9, whereas Home Depot is a 7. Second use is like a 9, because here's the crazy thing: you go to second use, you never know what is going to be there, and you get to explore around and find all these crazy things that they have salvaged. Some of the stuff is really outrageously priced, and a lot of the stuff is really cheaply priced. I feel like there's some guy on a whim there that's doing that kind of stuff. Corey's saying to sidestep the agreement with a vivarium or a paludarium. I don't think there's any sidestep in that agreement, because Vicky is fucking smart as shit. Vicky's smart as hell, and she would know that that I was trying to do something shady with them surprises. You got to come over here, because the camera's tight. The camera's tight. See? Oh, there she is. She knows. See that? We just talked about her for just a second, and she knew. But like I was saying, second use is this big warehouse, crazy space with a big yard, a big, asphalt yard, and they have all sorts of, as Darkheart's saying, it's reusables. Maybe reusables is the version where you're at, for sure. We also have a place called Earthwise. It's a small company. There's like 3 locations in Western Washington of second use, but it is dope. I love going there. Sometimes Vicky, she comes sneaking up, but she would know if I did something goofy that I was trying to like work my way around the deal. Like she would know, and she's the kind of person that would definitely call me on it too. So we don't want to antagonize the spouse. We want to complement the spouse and be complimentary and work together to improve our lives together. Surprises!
As part of the compromise, I also put in to the fish room.
Right. Oh, no. Yeah, no.
I wasn't like...
No, we didn't outlaw fish tanks or any of that stuff. We came to an agreement that we would be out there, and that's what we're doing. But I had thought up an idea of how to get a bunch of plants in here, and I can't remember for the fucking life of me what it is or was going to be. And I was assuming it was going to be, if whatever the thought I was probably succulents and like air plants and something cool like that. Yeah. And so I couldn't.
I could put plants in here, and you said no.
Well, we didn't want them right off the bat. Now we have a good basis of what's happening, and now we can start doing the shelves and all that kind of stuff. But right off the bat, we wanted to get stuff done.
Pearl necklace succulents on the shelf. And
Oh.
Nice Stephen Bacchio.
She's talking about pearl necklace. Pearl necklace succulents. Oh. Oh. Got quite adult in here. So yeah, so we definitely will have some plants coming in here. We'll definitely be getting some. We definitely will be getting some. Whatchamacallit? Some shelves and some more organization, and we will be doing a bunch of. Whatchamacallit? Art coming up here fairly soon, because like I said, I got a lot of the layout done for that stuff. Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Well, guys, we are coming up on the hour-long mark. As you guys know, we have some contributions tonight that are kind of over the top. Corey from Aquarium Co-op, but Eddie Kaitia and Joel Gillett also supporting the channel. Thank you very much, you guys. I do appreciate it. I don't know how to say it because I'm not very good at saying things, as y'all can tell. I trip over my shit when I'm trying to be nice. But I do have to go to bed tonight. I have to be back up at 5 and out at the job site early. And I also have to edit the short video. So the short video will be out in the morning. I'm trying to do these, do the live stream at night and then do the short condensed one in the morning. So if everybody wants to check those out in the morning, go ahead and click onto that and blah, 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 whatever the words are. If you're going to buy stuff on Amazon, go on to Dark Star Arts and click through the banner. And don't forget to click the like button and tell everybody good night. So, as Dwayne's saying, I still have 26 hours on that super chat. That Corey super chat is staring me in the face. Yes, the $100 ones will stay up there for a long time. Honestly, I thought the $100 super chats just stayed up there until I saw one and then it went away. But it went away after like such a long time. I'd gotten completely acclimated to it existing there. But yeah, as I said, I appreciate it. Say goodnight to everybody and have a great, safe evening. We'll be back at 8 o'clock specific standard time tomorrow night, which is Thursday, the 29th. The 29th of Junerd. Junerd 29th. Oh, there's only 2 days left in June. Okay, well, everybody get your super chats in tomorrow because there's only 2 days left in June. But like I said, have a great one and kiss your mother good night. And I gotta figure out what the good night song is. I'm gonna sort that out. Dwayne had a recommendation of a Jack LaLanne one, but I'm trying to think of the. It's not Fred Astaire. Maybe it's Frank Sinatra. I don't know. I think it was a Rat Pack thing. But anyhow, have a good one, and I will be back tomorrow morning with the condensed version and probably some more yammering and nonsense. Thanks for coming out, and I got to find the button, so go ahead and cover your earballs because here comes the later. That sounds like a weird motor. Surprises!